Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be reviewing with you how to create a requisition in ICIMS, as well as going over some new search functions that have been put into the system. In this first part, we will review everything you need to start creating your requisition and reviewing the manager dashboard both on the main page and once your requisition has been created. You first log into your ICIMS account. This is the page that you should see in the very beginning. This is known as your dashboard. It should have a list of all the open positions you currently have, and it also has an employee roster. When starting with a new job requisition, your first step is going to go to the Create and Job button at the top of your screen. Once you've reached this page, you're going to select a template of the recruiter you'd like to work with on this position. Then you'll click the Next button. On this next page, this is all of the general information for your requisition that you'll have to enter in. Starting at the top of the page, under General Information, you'll select the hire type for this role. Then the amount of openings you plan to have for this position. Underneath Job Posting Data, you'll want to replace what is inputted in the Job Posting Title section. This is where you're going to put the title for your role that we are going to post. Next, you'll select a category for the role, the position type, whether or not the position will be remote. An important thing to keep in mind here, if the position is going to have hybrid availability and only remote part of the time, you'll want to click No for remote, and we'll note that it's hybrid in the job description. This allows people who are applying directly to the position to know that they have to be within a certain area for the role. Next, you're going to select the location where the position is located. If the position location that you're looking for is not listed below, please let us know and we'll add it so that we can put it on your requisition later. The post category in here is to let the recruiter know what the requisition is being utilized for. Source only typically refers to positions that we don't have the contract award for yet, or they're being used for proposals. This means we're gathering applicants for it, but the recruiting team is not necessarily actively sourcing people to fill the position and screening those candidates. Not to post means you're creating a position and we won't put it out on hiring sites as of yet or on the Lynker career page. We're just creating the position to have it in the system for when it's ready to be posted. And source and fill is for those roles where we're actively seeking candidates for screening and interviews and to put into a position. Next, you're going to select your strategic business unit, the division, and what the project name for this position is under. If your project is not listed here because it's a new project, you're going to type in New Project, Inform Recruiter of Project Name. When your recruiter goes over this position with you, they'll ask you the name of the project and they'll input it into the system and tie it to the role, and it'll be listed in this category for future projects. Next, selecting whether the position is indirect or direct. Next, you're going to enter the WBS code, also known as the Work Breakdown Structure Code. This is something that's utilized in the onboarding of candidates once we've moved them into the hire stage. If you don't have access to this code at this time, you can receive it from accounting. In order to complete this requisition process, you can enter in TBD and add the code later on once you have that information. Recruiting will be asking for this code when going to move a candidate into hire. Next step is the minimum LCAT requirements for the position. This is anything that is needed in order to move someone into the hired category. Typically, it's any degree requirements and certifications that individuals might need. It will change per position and per project. Next, the creation template will ask you if the position is an SCA or non-SCA contract. This stands for the Service Contract Act contract. You'll be able to select from the list below whether it's SCA or non-SCA. If it is an SCA contract, you'll be able to enter the health and wellness information below. Moving down, you'll see the assignment. Your recruiter is Devin, and your hiring manager should be listed as yourself. If there's any issues with this information, please let your recruiter know. Below that, you have the option to add another hiring manager. If someone is helping you on this role, you can select them here and add them, and it'll be put on their dashboard as well. Under compensation, it asks for a posted minimum pay rate, a posted maximum pay rate, as well as the bill rate. Understanding that for some positions, the bill rate may be unknown because it's a proposal, you can put TBD in that category and we can fill in that number later. However, the minimum and the maximum pay rate are required in order for the recruiter to post your role. These ranges are posted with the position to Lynker's career page as well as any alternative posting sites that we utilize. So at this time, you're going to put in a minimum pay rate and a maximum for the range that you desire for this role. You can also change it to an hourly rate if desired for your position. Next, you'll be selecting the FLSA status for this position. We'll be utilizing this information later on when creating an offer letter. You select that status and then you'll be able to click the next button. On this next page, you'll be able to put in the job description for the position, as well as any responsibilities or qualifications for this role. In the first section, which is the overview, you want to just provide a brief statement of the position, include the official job title, and put in anything about any relevant team or department that this individual is going to be working with or in. A basic Lynker template has been inserted into here. Feel free to tailor it to however you need, or you can remove it and insert something that would work better for your team and this position. In the next section for responsibilities, you'll place any key details, responsibilities, duties, and expectations of the individual in this position. Include day-to-day tasks as well as any broader projects or team contributions that they might face. And please be as specific as you can so that the applicants understand the full scope of the position that they're applying to. In the final section, please list any mandatory or preferred qualifications for the position, and please clearly distinguish between the two so that the individuals applying know where their experience levels need to sit. Please also include any and all LCAT and degree requirements in this section. This will be posted with the position on all of our exterior job boards. Below that, we do have an About Lynker statement that gets posted with every position that's created. Once all this information is entered, you'll be able to click the Finish button, and a page will be created for your requisition. Once this requisition is officially created, the recruiter who is chosen for it will get an email notification letting them know that this position exists. They'll reach out to you to ask some questions of clarification about your role and what kind of support you need from the recruiting team. After that point, the recruiter will be able to post your position out to all posting sites, including Lynker's career page. Please note that just because a position is created, it is not automatically posted out yet. So if there's any changes that need to be made or things you'd like to update before that happens, please reach out to your recruiter and let them know. Once your role's been created, you'll be able to see it from the dashboard of your ICIMS page listed with any other positions that you currently have open at that time. If you click on the position from your dashboard, it'll bring you to the page for that role that we've just created. Here you'll be able to see any of the details that you entered when you created the position, as well as the description. If you need anything changed on this page, please reach out to your recruiter, as they're the only ones who can edit these after the position's been created, but we can make changes before and during the posting exists. In part 2, we're going to review all of the steps you move a candidate through the ICIMS system. This includes reviewing candidates, either just positioning or moving them forward, scheduling interviews, and creating offer letters. From your main page, you'll also be able to click on the Candidates tab to review any candidates who have applied to the position. From here, you can click on the resume icon and view any of the resumes that have been submitted. From here, you can also click on the individual's name, and it will take you to that candidate's profile in ICIMS. This page provides you with a more detailed overview of the candidate and their information. When you're ready to review candidates, click on the Candidate tab in the profile, and you'll be able to see all candidates who have applied for a position. As you can see under Status, some of these are marked as incomplete. This means that those applicants didn't fill out their application correctly and have been sent an email inviting them to finish their application. It's important that when you're ready to move candidates forward, you go over to the left-hand side of your screen and click on New Submissions. These are the only applicants that are available to be moved forward because their applications are fully complete. From here, you'll be able to click the check mark here and decide whether you want to reject or advance the individual. If you choose to reject them, the option Not Reviewed will populate. Clicking Not Reviewed on a candidate pushes them into the disposition category. This sends them an email notification letting them know that while we appreciate their application to Lynker, they're not being chosen for the position at this time. If you'd like to move forward with a candidate, you're going to click the checkbox here and then click the Advance button. This will give you an Interview Requested option. Clicking that option will bring up a pop-up window that will allow you to tell your recruiter what you would like those next steps to be. If you'd like your recruiter to reach out and do pre-screenings to candidates, please type in here, Pre-Screening Requested. And that will let your recruiter know that's the next steps you'd like to take, and you'd like them to reach out to individuals to get an understanding of their salary requirements and their experience on their resume. The recruiter will then send those notes forward to you, and you can decide whether or not you want to schedule an official interview. If you'd like to bypass the pre-screening and go ahead and submit your candidate for the interview stage, all you're going to put in here is Interview Requested. This lets your recruiter know that you'd like to move into the interview stage and have them schedule an interview with the candidate and yourself based on your calendar's availability. Once you've put in what you're going to explain to the recruiter, go ahead and click Save. This moves the candidate into the Interview Requested section. Once interviews have been completed and you'd like to move forward with hiring the individual, you'll click on their name and it will bring you to their profile underneath your position. From here, you'll click on Offer Details at the top, and then the Edit button. This will prompt you to fill out all of the offer details needed in order to create an offer letter for that individual. All of the required information will be marked by a star on this page, as offer amount, PTO allowance, the proposed start date for the individual, employment type, whether or not they're pending a security clearance, and if they're a rehire, and whether or not they're permitted to work remote. Please keep in mind that the start date can be switched if someone is pending security. It doesn't have to be a hard date. We can change that as a later point. Another important section here to keep in mind is the hardware required section. This only applies to if the candidate requires a Lynker laptop. Once you've been able to fill out all of the required details, you'll be able to click the Save button in the corner. Once the offer details are filled out, you'll be able to click the Advance button and then click Offer Requested. This will let your recruiter know that you're ready to move forward with creating an official offer letter for this candidate. A pop-up menu does come up. This pop-up box is to allow managers to put any additional notes for recruiters on that individual offer. If you have no notes, you can simply put no notes and move forward by clicking Save. After submitting your offer request to the recruiter, they're sent an email that will then prompt them to begin drafting the official offer letter. If you go back to the homepage for your requisition, you'll be able to see that you have a candidate under the offer stage. And you can see that individual's page by clicking Offer, and it'll even tell you where the process is at that point. Once the offer has been created by the recruiter, you will receive an email that looks like the following, stating the candidate's name, job title, the hiring manager, and the proposed start date. You'll be able to click on a link on that email that will bring you to the offer approval page. Once this comes up, it will tell you all the information about the employee, the job information, and what the offer details were that were entered. At the bottom, you'll be able to accept or decline this offer. If you do decline the offer, please put in the notes box why the offer is being declined and what needs to be fixed by the recruiter. If everything looks good on the current offer and nothing needs to be changed, please click Approve at the bottom. You can also click Show Offer Letter to view the entire offer letter that's being sent out to the individual to make sure the job description and everything entailed matches what you need. Once you click Approve, it will ask you if you're sure. Click OK. Once this is completed, your job as the hiring manager is completed. After this point, the next steps are up to the recruiter to make sure the offer letter gets sent out to the individual you're intending to hire and call them and let them know that the offer has been released to them. Once the individual has accepted the proposed offer, the recruiter will get an email notifying them that the offer letter has been signed. They will then notify the hiring manager of the decision. That concludes today's ICIMS training and walkthrough. If you have any questions, please reach out to the recruiting team, and thank you guys so much for your time.